As the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz deepens, key US allies are pushing back against calls from Donald Trump to send warships to protect shipping through the volatile waterway. Japan and Australia have now made it clear they have no plans to deploy naval vessels to escort oil tankers through the strait. Speaking before Parliament, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi said Tokyo has made no decision to dispatch naval escort ships to the Strait of Hormuz. She stressed that Japan is still evaluating what actions it can take independently and within its legal framework. Takaichi also revealed that the United States has not yet made a formal request to Japan for such assistance. Her remarks were reinforced by Japan's Defense Minister, Shinjiro Koizumi, who said Tokyo is not currently considering maritime security operations in the region.
Regarding the current situation in Iran concerning the deployment of maritime security operations, we are not considering any such action at this moment. First and foremost, diplomatic efforts must be made for this de-escalation.
Japan's caution is significant. The country depends heavily on energy imports that pass through the Strait of Hormuz, yet it appears reluctant to enter a potentially explosive military mission. Australia has taken a similar stance. Transport Minister Catherine King told the national broadcaster that Canberra has no plans to send naval vessels to the strait. She said Australia recognises the importance of the route, but confirmed that no request has been made and that the country is not contributing ships to the mission. Even Australia's Conservative opposition signalled caution. Shallow Defence Minister James Patterson said that if a request were to come from Washington, Australia would carefully weigh the decision against its national interest and military capability. Meanwhile, Australia's Defence Minister Richard Marles confirmed that the United States had previously asked Canberra to help defend Gulf states, but he suggested the request was broader than simply sending ships into the Strait of Hormuz. Across the Atlantic, the British United Kingdom is considering a different approach. British officials are reportedly examining the possibility of sending aerial minesweepers to help clear naval mines that could be blocking the waterway. However, officials warned that dispatching warships directly into the strait could further escalate the already volatile conflict. Elsewhere, South Korea said it will continue discussions with Washington before making any decision. The cautious responses come as Trump intensifies pressure on US allies to step up. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, the US president insisted that countries relying on the route must help secure it. He said Washington had already reached out to several countries for support, including China, France, Japan, South Korea, and Britain. Trump argued that the responsibility should fall on nations that rely on the energy corridor.
They want to negotiate badly, as they should, but I don't think they're ready to do what they have to do. I think they will be ready at some point. But we're doing very well with respect to that old situation on Iran. We are talking to other countries about working with us for the policing of the strait. And I think we're getting good response. If we do, that's great, and if we don't, that's great too. Remember, like as an example, in many cases, the NATO countries, we're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. As many, it's got a notion that between us doesn't affect us, but we've helped them. It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open. And by comparison, it's small because Iran has very little firepower left. Their missiles are down to a low number. You see, they're shooting very. You know why? Because they don't have very many of them. And because we've decimated their manufacturing capability. China's an interesting case study. They get most of their oil, as you know, by car. Get a lot, about 90% through the strait. So I said, would you like to come in and we'll find out. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You know, there's some other deeper reasons why they should come in my opinion. It never made sense for years. If you go back and look at what I've said years ago, I said, why aren't we maintaining the Hormuz Strait when it's really there for China and many other countries? Why aren't they doing it? And that's because we had weak leadership, to be honest with you. But I'm bringing it up now. So I think even long term, I think it's something that other countries should help us. And again, remember, there's about seven. Just remember that it's something that we don't need, and these countries don't need. And yet for years, it's like for years we've been maintaining it, doing a great job. And now that the war is, now that they've been diminished in terms of military, their military has been greatly diminished. I think it's a good thing for other countries to come in. Now, it would have been nice, as I said to the Prime Minister of the UK, who sort of was reluctant to put his 2 aircraft carriers into harm's way. That would be 2 weeks ago. And as soon as we demolished, essentially, pretty much demolished it, not over yet, but pretty much we're in great shape. Let's put it that way, everybody knows. He said, we'd like to send our aircraft carriers. I said, I don't want them after we win the war. I want it before we start. So whether it's whether we get support or not, but I can say this, and I said it to them, we will remember.
News never stops. The world keeps turning, and every turn tells a story. Wars, elections, geopolitics, Davids versus Goliaths.
While everyone is celebrating the US-China trade talk, Trump has been quietly doing something else across Asia.
These were once home to the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west.
But who's connecting the dots? Who's decoding the global storm? Welcome to Times of India videos.
You're watching a special edition of Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna.
בהנחיה שלי ושל שר הביטחון ישראל כץ.
Durante este año,
We decode the shifting grains of geopolitics to you. From Washington to Wuhan.
Встановлені домовленості і сьогодні підписуються.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Just 2 years ago, Canada was one of the most popular countries for Indian students.
From Davos to Delhi, we track the decisions that move markets, shift policies, and shape the future. No jargon, no bias, just clear, credible, global journalism. Because understanding the world doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be smart. And that's what we do best. At Times of India videos, we don't just tell stories, we build perspective. We connect the dots between what's global and what's personal, what's happening out there, and what it means for you. It's fast. It's fearless. It's making sense of the changing world order. Times of India videos. Because your worldview is just a tap away.